each of you to explain what it means to you to be a conservative.
Conservatism is fiscal responsibility, personal responsibility, moral values, limited government, and basically everything that's in our founding documents. But the word conservative means just to protect the status quo. And so perhaps that's not the best term for us. At the time of the founding of our nation, the type of constitutional republic that they developed was the most innovative, novel form of government in the history of the world. To this day, it is the most novel, innovative form of government in the history of the world. Socialism is old hat. Communism is old hat. So maybe it's a little bit of a misnomer. But in this case, it's to protect our founding principles and to make sure that those founding principles continue to guide our government. And as personal conservative, it means that when I was divorced, making chump change, I didn't turn to the government, I went to night school. I couldn't afford a divorce. I got a library card from the Dallas County Law Library for 20 bucks. I performed my own divorce. The filing fees were only 160 bucks. The lawyers wanted $1,000. That's what conservatism is. It's taking responsibility for your situation and finding a way to succeed. That's what America has done historically, and I want to help make it do it again.
Conservative is what the Tea Party is about. All your goals, your values. I believe, Ken, didn't you? You were the one that began the whole thing. And I compliment you, or you and some. I know you had a lot of help, but I really admire you for stepping out when you did. And the goals that you set, to me, that exemplifies conservative and individual responsibility. But also teaching our children in school to love America, to appreciate what our pioneers did and how they fought and died for their freedoms, for our freedoms, you all, and our liberty. And we must, and that's what we're all about, that's what you all are about. And that's why it's taken off across the country. It's because we're all hungry for going back to those wonderful days of working hard individually, earning what we work for, okay? Not with our hand out, okay? But believing in education, that it can help all of us get a job and maintain our family and help take care of them, you all. That, to me, is conservative.
If we could get rid of the national education, whatever it is,
U.S. Department of Education.
If we could get rid of it right now, would you do it?
Sure.
Absolutely. Great. Well, good for you.
I will be lobbying for it actively.
Well, good. We need to get rid of it.
Let me get some comments on technology in school. We've got hardware and software manufacturers that hardball lobbying to implement more software and hardware in schools. I've had a chance myself to review testimony from children around the state. They're saying unauthorized use of personal electronic devices is really seriously degrading the education experience. So just in the technology construct, let me get your opinions on where we should be going versus where we are right now.
There was a huge move to redefine a laptop and call it a book. And because the lobbyists for the tech industry were convincing all of the legislators that a laptop was a book. And that if they could redefine what a book was, I mean a laptop, into a book, then it would be eligible for the permanent school fund dollars, which is called the Kids Tech. I never got to talk about that tonight, but that is the heart and soul of the State Board of Education. It's about a 25 to 27 billion dollar fund. And the big G factor gets in here, the greed. And so the lobbyists wanted to get into that fund so that they could get the state of Texas to buy laptops for all the kids. So I said, wait a minute. a laptop isn't a book, it's a device, it's a piece of equipment. You know, and they go, oh no, no, you know, and I go, no, 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 it's what's inside that makes the content, the instructional content. So I had to go to Greg Abbott, the Attorney General, and I said, Greg, I said, I need a ruling. And I said, tell me, is a laptop a book? And he laughed, he said, of course not. And I said, well, guess what? We got legislators over there that have been convinced that it's a book. And I said, and if it does, we will lose that fund. I mean, that if they can get into that fund, you all, it will be gone in a New York minute, and our kids won't have the money, or we won't have the money to pay for instructional material for the kids. Now, so he ruled, and he said a laptop is not a book. Thank goodness, okay? But a few years later, in '09,
All right.
we got the Kindles, okay? Now, what I'm trying to explain to you, yes, we're going toward technology, but we need to be very careful how we go, and that we look at quality control of the content that are in the Kindles, because those kids can get around the Kindle. You all know that, don't you? They can get around and get into it, okay? So the whole bottom line is be cautious, be careful. We're going forward. Of course we're going forward. But let's be very careful. Make sure our kids get the right kind of information. Okay?
Technology has tremendous advantages and also tremendous pitfalls. We need to see some studies and take some public testimony. One of our premier private schools refuses to allow any electronic devices in the classroom. Students must write out their work. They must read from books, and that school has very, very high standards and very good results. Additionally, there have been a number of public schools and private schools that have online K-12 education. Obviously, in the earlier grades, mom or dad or somebody has to be there to assist the young child. But I've had some experience with that, and it can be very effective and very successful. I think Tynesy's right. The high-tech companies have they've tapped out the market in business. They tried about 5 or 6 years ago to get into small and medium-sized businesses, and they couldn't get the profit margin they needed. So now they're going after the school kids. That's it. They just want your tax dollars. My experience in life has been that whenever you have an individual or a group of people who are dispersing someone else's money, they squander about 80% of it. And with all this geek speak going on, it's real easy to get people all excited about spending all this money, all this wonderful technology, blah, blah, blah. If technology made that big of a difference, we would be still producing statesmen of the caliber that founded this nation, and we are not. I believe, however, that we can do that once again. We need to establish some vetting processes and some quality control processes so that we can introduce additional technology wisely. But remember, education first. What's best for the children? We need to see proven track records, not just a bright idea, not just wouldn't this be cool. Show me the statistics that it works and that it's worth the money. And if we really want to get the liberals to go against it, all I have to tell them is, if we can get these programs, then we won't need teachers anymore. And the people who want to protect those jobs will help us put the brakes on it. Thank you so much.